NANI?
All right. Shut up, Josh. I mean, if you do, I'm not going to be mad at you. I don't care.
I'm not going to do it, but
I might.
It just caught me off guard when you hit the NANI button. NANI?
All right, I'm about to play music.
Yeah, it lost its effect the second time.
What's going on? Welcome into AniMan Plus Spoilercast Edition. I'm your host, Alex Light. Hopefully you're having a great day, whatever day you're listening to this. And hopefully if you're listening to this, you've either, one, seen the movie we're about to talk about, or two, you don't care about spoilers. We're going to be talking about the Demon Slayer movie. It's officially come out over here in the States. We did get to go see it on opening night, April 22nd. We're going to be breaking down all the spoilers here. If you somehow fell into this, please know this is full spoilers. We do have a bonus cast version that is spoiler free, so you can go check that out if you do not like spoilers. I understand, autoplay, it's a thing, so people may have accidentally fallen into this, so this is your chance to leave now before Josh randomly yells out a massive spoiler, or I randomly yell out a massive spoiler. It's possible. You never know.
I want to say something first before we start this off.
Okay.
You totally left out the third option that you're just big brain and read the manga.
That's also true. If you read the manga and you just hear, hey.
You already know.
Yeah. If you know, you know. Joining with me here in studio, I do have Zach running the cameras for me. We are in video format now. Zach, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Ready to really dive into the spoilers now after doing a very quick bonus cast?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for it. Ready to go.
And then, as you already heard his voice, we also have Josh here over the phone. And Josh, just for, I always do. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it would have been 100% better if you just acted like I was a ghost.
Just act like
instead of telling people I was over the phone, just be like, his spirit's here with us.
Yeah, his spirit's here. May he rest in peace. Please don't haunt us too much.
We conjured him.
Yeah, basically. So, again, final warning before we really jump in. This is spoilers. If you somehow fell into this and you have not clicked out yet because of autoplay or whatever, click out now if you do not want to hear spoilers. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. We already gave our thoughts in terms of like the animation. We already gave our thoughts in terms of like the score and the pacing and stuff all over in the bonus cast. Now we're going to be talking about basically the plot of the movie and just how it went from beginning to end. Okay. So for the plot itself, our main trio here, our main trio of Demon Slayers from the Demon Slayer Corps and Tanjiro's sister are all getting on this
quartet.
Yes, the quartet. Thank you. That was the word I was drawing a blank on. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Fuck you, Zach. Zach gave me a look. All right. The word blanked on me. You know me. You know how words blank on me. It happens. But this movie took place where they're getting on a train to support Rengoku on a mission of what the hell's been going on this train, because multiple people have died over time, and other demon slayers have went to go investigate and they just disappear. They die as well. Don't hear from them again. So they're there all to back up Rengoku, which I got to say, Rengoku's introduction to this movie was fantastic. Absolutely loved it.
Same as the manga too.
Yeah, same as the manga.
Out there.
Absolutely loved it. Where as they're getting further and further onto the train, all you just see,
delicious.
Yeah, just delicious. Just
delicious.
over and over and over again. He's just going through bento boxes just left and right, which I thought that again, like Josh said, that is in the manga. It was just a really funny way to introduce the character in this movie.
Yeah,
and then just how like serious and straight faced he was cracking me up.
Yep,
loved that.
Yeah, through the whole thing.
Yeah. Where Tanjiro's trying to ask him some questions and he never even looks at him.
Not for a moment. He just stares straight ahead and goes, "Sure, you can ask me, but no."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Tanjiro's like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" "Sure." "All right, what did the blah 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 question?" Rengoku's like, "I do not know." End of discussion.
What color's your sword? It's black. That's too bad.
It's like, oh, well, that sucks. I've never known a pillar to, with a black sword. So good luck, kid. He's like, hey, you can become my apprentice though. Absolutely loved his introduction there. It was great. And then, the plot kind of, starts to, really pick up, in my opinion, kind of quick here at the beginning. I thought the plot, I thought the pacing really picked up fast here in these first few minutes. And then, I think all of us can agree, then it kind of slowed down. When it came to the dream sequences that we had. But, really the next thing that would really take place is the hole punching thing, which is going to initiate the dream sequence. We get to see our main antagonist of this movie, which is the lower one.
Yes, the lower one.
Yeah, lower one.
And one thing I do like about the whole ticket punching thing, and just I enjoyed the animation of it, of just the whole, once the ticket punched, suddenly the lights flicker, demons appear, and then just the whole sequence of that, making anyone who hasn't read or just believing, oh, this is going down right now.
Right.
And at the end, after Rengoku does his thing and offs both of them, just suddenly are 3 demon slayers just floating around him.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Praising him.
All of a sudden.
Big bro.
Big bro, please train us.
And just that moment of just how well done, just going, what kind of drugs am I on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of threw this out in the spoiler-free version. I'll throw it out in this one. As far as the pacing goes, it's pretty much on point with the manga. Like everything that in the movie happens the exact same way at the exact same pace, aside from the dream sequences. So that's pretty interesting. That that you kind of felt that it would just kind of like went way too fast in the beginning, because that's pretty much exactly how it is. It's like they get on the train, have that quick interaction with Rengoku, and then it's just right into it.
Right. And I also want to touch on that moment where they're all like surrounding him. I just want to touch on that. I just love how they're like, oh, big bro, you're so cool, big bro. Rengoku, and he's just like got his arms crossed, like high and mighty. He's like, yes, I will train all 3 of you. You will all 3 become mighty warriors. I just thought that was funny. Rengoku's personality is top tier. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Rengoku is a great character.
Yeah. From there, that's when we kind of really get into the dream sequences. So with the hole punching thing, it's basically our antagonist, the lower one. They get their ticket hole punch, and it basically puts everyone on the train asleep into this wonderful dream sequence where they're seeing basically what exactly they would like to see or whatever, where it's all happy, sunshine, and rainbows. This all set up where the people that are following lower one, because they want their own dream sequences. I don't remember personally. I'm drawing a blank. Was it only one character out of the ones that were working with them that actually had like an illness, or was it all of them?
They all had different problems.
Okay.
Like the conductor, for example, his wife and kid were dead, and so that's how he could see them, was in the dream. That one, he had tuberculosis, so like that's his escape. They all had different problems. I mean, it doesn't really go into much detail in the manga either, but those are the 2 main ones.
Yeah, they all have something, reason to follow them, why they want to dream. It's just, as Josh said, only 2 are actually sort of stated. All the rest are sort of just left.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like possibly forget something, whatever, because I am known to do that, to forget things.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure if there was anything else established. But again, basically, you get introduced to all these characters that have their own reason to wanting to support the demon, and basically, what they're doing is they're going into the dreams of our main characters, because obviously they're demon slayers. You want to take care of them. They're going to be a pain in your ass, and basically kill them while they're in the dream sequence by going to like their like what their inner conscious is, what it was.
Yeah, their subconsciousness pretty much is where they go.
Where their soul, their spiritual core is.
Yeah. I think the first one that you got to really see was Rengoku's, which is whenever she went into it, it was just all on fire. She's like, wow, what a weird place for the subconscious, but whatever. And then when she finally found it and was about to destroy it, Rengoku's still asleep, mind you. Like his actual body just starts like grabs her by the throat and starts choking her, and she's just like, Jesus Christ, this dude's will to live, this instinct for survival.
Yeah, it's his survival instinct just like kicks in. I really enjoyed Zensu's and Inosuke's.
True.
They were the best. Inosuke's had the best dream too, I want to say.
Yeah, his did. His was great. Of where like everyone that was following him was just his minions. But also shout out to the fact that he basically called the demon thing of this movie. Where in his dream sequence where he's got his minions, you see the demon they find. It's the train.
Well,
he's just like, there it is.
It's funny imagery because it's not only just the train; it's the fact that the train is a centipede-esque monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he more or less just has on a subconscious level was aware that he had to battle the train. And it was sort of funny, which I'm pretty sure Inosuke's dream whole sequence was more or less just a rendition of
what he thinks reality is.
No, yes, that.
Yes, that.
But, I just blanked on it. It's a Japanese folklore. I think it's called Tomoro? No, I can't remember. I've butchered it. But it's based on the characters it was choosing and everything is based off a Japanese folklore, which I thought was funny.
What, in his dream sequence?
Yeah. Why,
the raccoon, the
raccoon,
rabbit, the rat.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't.
Momotaru. That's it. That's what it is.
Okay.
Momotaru.
I didn't know that. So that's a nice little fun fact of the movie. I did not know that. But no, his dream sequence was the best. I loved that. Zenitsu's was really good as well, where he's basically
his split personalities.
Yeah, his split personalities, where he's basically getting the woman that he cares for so much. I'm drawing a blank on her name. On how to pronounce it. Nezuko.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. I didn't butcher something for once.
I know. We're going to let you do it.
I know you were, Josh, after the character death bonus cast where I let you butcher Senku's dad's name. So I knew that was, but yeah, his dreams.
That's the name I knew though. Like I knew Nezuko's name. Like I was gonna let you butcher it for payback for that.
I know you were. It's all right. But yeah, his dream sequence has him like just frolicking through the woods with Nezuko, whatever. Having the time of his life. She gets on his back. They jump over the river. He's so happy. He's living his best life. And then Tanjiro's is obviously the saddest one of them all.
The first time in forever her voice actors had any lines.
True. True.
That wasn't just grunts.
True, dude. That is the first time in fucking forever. Then we get over Tanjiro's, and obviously his is the saddest one of the bunch because his is, where his family's all alive and they're not dead, and he's kind of confused at first. He acknowledged, he's like, I guess I was just living a bad dream, whatever. And then he was really Nezuko popped out of the box. That's right. No, that's right. She was in the box.
She woke up and she did her whole cutesy act of wake up, touch my head, headbutt.
Yeah, it gives him a good old headbutt. It's just like a quick little pause. You see pop of blood. And she starts to cry. I got to shout out like the people in the theater that we were at. I heard them just like, oh no.
I heard some people and then a couple people laugh.
Yeah,
because she probably had the most comical moments of this movie.
I love for her. I love how just blank they do her facial expressions at times.
Yes,
where it's just the black dots and just a black line.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I love how basic it is.
Like when Zensu comes in and saves her, and he's just like falls back asleep, and she just like goes from like full face to just blank face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she came out of her box. She came over and trying to help wake up, Tanjiro, which she manages to, help accomplish by like setting him, by using her flames, whatever that she has, right? Like the blood flames.
So,
well, I know Tanjiro went in his dream. I know he went to the pond, and I know that, but that was triggered because of her, correct?
Well, slightly. What actually happens was when she headbutts him and she bleeds just because of his insane sense of smell,
right.
He just immediately smelled her blood and went, Nezuko's injured. What am I doing? And it sort of snaps him back into a bit of reality of realizing something's not right.
Yeah. And then like when he sees himself in the water and like his dad, it's not explained in the movie, but it's explained in the manga that that's his survival instinct. Where like Rengoku's was to like choke that chick out. Tanjiro's was basically just to try to like let him know that like something's not right.
Okay, gotcha. he was the first one of the group to wake up thanks to that survival instinct, and also thanks to his dad, where his dad's just like, there's something you have to cut, which I made the joke to Zach during that, where I made reference to Jack from Black Clover. I leaned over to
cut that.
It's like, ooh, I can cut that. Shout out to Jack from Black Clover. So he ends up cutting his own neck to he commits suicide in the dream sequence to wake him up. So he was the first one to wake up. When he wakes up, Rengoku's still choking this chick out IRL, just standing there, just full blown choking her out IRL. When he finally wakes up, he has like that survival like instinct type of moment where he's just like, I better not cut these ropes. Hey Nezuko, can you please burn these? And then just tries to plead for everyone to wake up, to really no avail there. The next one to wake up was it Inosuke or was it Rengoku?
It doesn't it doesn't really say, but Inosuke is the next one we see.
Yeah, Inosuke is the next one we see wake up because he busts through the top of the train.
And in beautiful fashion, just a beautiful entrance.
And then Shinjiro, he just tells him what's going on. He's like, I knew it.
Yeah, see, that was one of my favorite parts about it, is that because it's like in that dream sequence, obviously we see it's the train, but he doesn't, like, Inosuke in the dream doesn't acknowledge the fact that it's a train or whatever, right? Yeah. So I love how they rope it back, where he's just like, oh, I knew it, I knew that's what the case was.
And before all this, we're slightly skipping over. Before Inosuke even comes back, Tanjiro has a whole fight with Lower One.
Yeah, he does.
On top of the train.
Yeah,
where he's like constantly having to kill himself to wake himself up.
Yeah, which was that was a really intense little fight, because it's like every single time he was going to charge at Lower One would put him to sleep. You'd see him like fall back, eyes go white, fall asleep, and then immediately pop back in. Lower One's just like, is it not working? Is this thing broke? What is happening right now? And then Lower One's like, oh,
it is working.
He's just killing himself.
Yeah, no, I don't think at that moment he realized how he was doing it. He was just like, it is working, but he's breaking out. Yeah. How?
Yeah, and then like right after that fight is when Inosuke kind of pops into it.
At that point, Lower One has actually fused with the train.
Yeah, that's where you start to see all like the CGI that really comes into play. Which we mentioned in just like the spoiler-free bonus cast for this, that we personally think like the CGI for it, everything, it really meshed well with the movie. It didn't horribly stand out or anything, which was really nice. So when Inosuke like comes into play and everything, was this already the point where Rengoku was already awake? Because I know there was a moment when Inosuke. No. Okay.
Yeah, at this point we still hadn't seen Rengoku.
Okay, because
it's still a little bit.
Gotcha. So I know there was that moment where Inosuke was, running on top of the train. He's like, oh man, he's giving me orders, but he's so cool.
Yeah. Because Shinjiro breaks it down for Inosuke what's going on. Inosuke's like, I fucking knew it, and then jumps back down there and starts like decimating everything. And then Tanjiro like goes and like starts trying to save the people, and that's where you hear like the big like explosion, which is when Rengoku's like flying through the fucking train.
Yeah. And one thing I do like about the animation was the whole actual transformation scene of the train into the demon's body. That was exceptionally well and looked very good. Just the whole transition of it more squishing out and overtaking the train itself and just instantly morphing. And then, right after that, we had Inosuke fighting in a car, Nezuko fighting in a car, and then Tanjiro. Then we finally get our nice eruption from Rengoku, just blitzing from one end of the train to the other to Tanjiro, like, yo, I got this. You and Inosuke, go find that head.
Yeah, go find the neck. I'll cover five carts this way. Blonde boy and your sister will cover that one. You kind of keep your eye on the other 3, but I got these 5. Bye. Yeah. And he just zips back off.
Yeah. We totally forgot that Zensu comes in and like saves Nezuko, and he's like still totally like passed the fuck out.
Yeah, he has his one moment. That was really his only moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that one single point was the only thing he did, which is also fair to the arc. That's all he did.
The only other point in time that he had a moment was his split personality and his subconscious.
Yeah.
When he went all jackal on that poor guy.
Right.
Like, this is only for Nezuko. You cannot be here.
That's true. And before we kind of further go deeper into the plot here, I do want to kind of loop back to the subconscious stuff. I really like the shot of the one that was in Inosuke's subconscious, where she was just like, "What kind of subconscious is this? What is this place?" And she's just like climbing through like caves and shit.
And then right behind her.
Yeah, no, that shot of him just suddenly coming from the shadows.
Yeah. That was fantastic. Loved that.
It was.
That's why Inosuke's dream sequence, everything about it was the best. That was absolutely incredible. So once we kind of get to the point that we're at there, where Rengoku's basically gonna be covering 5 carts by himself, Nezuko and Zenitsu's gonna be covering 1. Tanjiro's supposed to be keeping an eye on 3, but him and Inosuke is going to go, they're going to go hunt down that neck, which thanks to, Tanjiro's sense of like smell, he's just kind of narrowing it down where it's like, okay, it's up here at the
Well, it's actually
the conductor's cart.
Thank you.
It was Inosuke's instinct.
Yeah, where he was like, it's
like
at the front.
Instincts. Yeah, it's like, it's up here. It's way worse than the rest.
Right. Yeah. We also had that moment where the conductor ends up, he does end up stabbing Tanjiro at some point. While they're trying to get all this accomplished, and the one thing that was really cool to see animated was while they were trying to they end up exposing the neck bone at one point, which then the demon just kind of ramped up even more about like all of the flesh and stuff that's all going around it, trying to stop them from getting it. Is throughout this whole sequence, there's just eyes popping up all over the place, which is helping put them asleep. Tanjiro keeps falling asleep left and right, and he just keeps waking up by committing suicide. But Inosuke is kind of dodging it because he's got that boar head on, and they don't know. The demon doesn't know where he's looking at one time.
Yeah, because it's through that interaction it just lightly lets you know. Yeah, he can only actually make you fall asleep if he looks directly in your eye. Otherwise, it's pretty useless. And I mean, that's sort of a funny sort of shortcut for that ability.
Right.
Because he has the eyes, but then he has the hand that just yells.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of seems like a weird weakness to me, considering. Why not just make a bunch of hands instead of eyes?
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, the powered up version did seem a little weaker than the base version.
Yeah, I can agree to that. While we're in this conductor's room, whatever, and with all the demon stuff, all the flesh and the tentacles and all the eyes and all over the place, whatever. Tanjiro, like I said, he keeps falling asleep, committing suicide, falling asleep, committing suicide, and it got to a point where he was about to commit suicide IRL. Because he thought he was in the dream sequence, and Inosuke came in and stopped him. Where he's just like, "Hey, this is reality. You need to recognize what's reality and what's not. So calm down here." And then that was right around the time where they did get the neck bone exposed again, right? Thanks to Inosuke, and then Tanjiro delivered the final blow. Is that am I correct on that pacing?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Which looked beautiful, by the way, because that was Tanjiro using his total concentration breathing. Correct? Is that what it's called?
It was the Hinuri. It's whatever his the fire one that his dad does.
Yeah, the fire dance. And it was a nice scene of just them more or less being shot in the air and getting a nice air shot coming all the way down, dodging these tentacle eyes, and just Inosuke and them matching up their breathing, and just a nice sequence of just a nice falling scene of them just battling their way down to expose said neck, and eventually Tanjiro hitting it with that fire dance that he remembered from the previous arc.
Yeah, and speaking of the matching their breathing, I like that little interaction between Tanjiro and Inosuke where Tanjiro was pitching it. It's like, hey, we need to match our breathing. It's the only way this is going to work. And Inosuke's like, good job, minion. It's like, good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good job.
I can compliment you on that one.
Yeah, Tanjiro's like, thanks. I like how Tanjiro just goes along.
He just accepts it.
Yeah, he's just like, this is just how it's going to be with this guy. I'm just gonna run with it. We got to get this shit done. It is what it is. I like that. That's pretty. That's really funny. So they end up severing the neck. Of course, the demons dying at this point. Which one thing about Demon Slayer is that anytime these demons die, they always have that moment to make you feel bad for them.
Yeah.
This is one of the cases where they don't really. They don't give you some lengthy backstory about this demon that's dying. It's gonna make you be like, oh. man, now I'm kind of sad this demon's dying. Like, this is upsetting.
Yeah,
Not in this case.
The most it did, like back before he even fused with the train, it even has a little moment where the demon goes, "My favorite thing to do is give people nightmares right before they die." I'm just like, well, shit.
All right. Well, I mean, whatever your kink is, I guess, right?
That's like his dying thing. He's like, this is a nightmare. This couldn't have happened. I hate them all. Like, yeah, just like going through everyone that like kind of did something. He's like, I'll kill them all, and they just poof.
Right. Yeah. And at this point,
snaps out of there.
Tanjiro's just on the ground. You know, he's got his wound, whatever, from the conductor. Which, by the way, he saved the conductor.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
As the demon dies, it manages to buck and do something and just
like launch him up.
Yeah, launches the train off the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Tanjiro does what he can to save the conductor because basically he doesn't want, you know, he does, because even though, in this case, basically just like, screw it. Hey, he tried to stab you, let him die. And Tanjiro's like, no, please save him. You know, please just go help him out because he's like trapped or something.
Yeah, his leg was crushed by the train.
His leg's crushed by the train, and Tanjiro's like, well, then his debt's paid. Just please save him.
You know, it's like, well, that's not how it actually works, but whatever, fine, I'll save him just because my minion asked me to. So that was funny. And, you know, at this moment, this is when the demon is actually dying, having its last moments, where it's just like, man, it's all that asshole's fault. If it wasn't for that asshole, we'd be in great shape. And he's like trying to reach out to Tanjiro to kill him, you know, get one last. He ends up disappearing. Then you have a cool little like teaching moment between Rengoku and Tanjiro, where Rengoku comes over to him and basically just like schools him and, you know, hey, concentrate on your breathing, concentrate on this, concentrate on that.
Yeah,
stop the wound yourself.
The total concentration breathing.
Yep. You know, just, you know, like, hey, you know, if you master this total concentration, you can do so much with your body. And, you know, it's kind of a fascinating little teacher scene to watch of him, you know, getting his wound to close himself, which is really cool. And, you know, from there, that's when we get to the final conflict of the movie, which is, you know, us like, as manga readers. This is the part we were most excited for. Yeah,
the real meat and potatoes of the movie.
True.
In my opinion, I thought it was the best part.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love like the comedic scenes and stuff. Like those hold a special place for him. But by far, this entire end sequence was definitely the best. So just when you think everything was all sunshine and rainbows, it's like, good job, we killed the demon, we can go home. No one on this train died. Sweet, let's do it. Then you have the upper three come into play, which, if I remember correctly, there's 5 lowers, 5 uppers. Is that how the ranking goes? I think there was 5.
I thought there was like 8.
It's been like 3 years since I read the series.
Yeah, I think Spider Boy was upper 8.
Oh, okay. I can't remember if it was 5 or what. But anyway, upper 3, obviously higher up there in terms of power. He shows up.
The strongest so far.
Yeah, the strongest so far. Best way to put it. He shows up, which then prompts a very intense battle between Rengoku and the upper 3.
Which was amazing in every way, shape, or form.
Oh my God, it was, man. The music was incredible for it. The animation was absolutely insane. This is the one time that you really see Rengoku go like all out. Yeah, because everything that he's done to this point, you know, in this movie especially, is just him like molly-whopping everything. Like it's not even
basically
a big
not
deal.
trying.
Yeah, just one-shot stuff. You know, it's whatever. This is the one where you actually really see him just go all out and try to take on upper 3. You know, this entire battle, upper 3 is like, you know, just like really like just in love with Rengoku, like, you know, just of a way. It's like, dude, you're so strong. Please just say you'll become a demon, please. He's trying to recruit Rengoku this entire time.
Upper 3 just had a whole bromance with Rengoku. Because the entire time it's just like, become a demon. Let's spar for eternity.
Yeah, he just wants to fight Rengoku forever.
You think you're strong now, but give it 200 years and you'll be even stronger, and then we can have a real fight.
Yeah. Man, what a great fight. You know, throughout this fight, Rengoku just, you know, I imagine for people that don't know what happens with Rengoku here, are watching this fight and are just dead set determined he's going to pull it out somehow. that he's gonna make it out of this, that he's gonna beat him. You know, even at the first real okay, this is not looking too hot. Position is when he had his eye damage, whatever, and the upper three was just like, yo, your eye is fucked up. You got
smashed ribs. You
have internal organs that are collapsing, whatever. Like, yo, none of that can be healed. But if you're a demon, hey,
it's not even a scratch.
Yeah, because this whole time,
just look at me. Like, everything that you've done to me is already gone. Like, because all the flashes, his arm keeps growing back infinitely. Anytime Rengoku cuts him off,
right? And then at that moment, that's where I imagine the anime only viewers are just like, okay, this is not looking too good, but I think he can pull something out. Let's go. And then we get a beautiful, beautiful track, man. Great track, kind of really kicks off. You see Rengoku just completely catch a blaze, completely on fire, where he's basically going to use his ultimate technique, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, which was what did it become? It was like a giant dragon or something is what it ended up becoming.
It was a tiger, because
it was a dragon.
Okay. It's stance like 10th form, 9th form. It's literally called Rengoku is the name of the form, and you have a really epic clash where he just goes blasting forward. The demon is basically just trying to stand still and just kind of catch it, kind of thing. You have this moment where you really thought Rengoku was going to really finish it off here, and then it just comes out of the shot, and Rengoku has the dude's arm just through his stomach.
Yeah.
Brutal shot of even Tanjiro starts kind of crying, whatever. And mind you, Tanjiro and Inosuke are watching this entire thing. They want to try to come in and help, but Rengoku ordered them to stay back. Especially Tanjiro in his case, because he's got the wound, and Rengoku's like, yo, if that reopens, that's gonna be fatal. So that's an order, stay back. And
because Rengoku's goal is for not one person to die.
Yep.
And he's like, if you die, then I'm basically
he's failed.
I didn't accomplish what I wanted to.
Yeah. Fails in the mission that he was kind of given to himself, and that he was trying to accomplish at this whole thing. And at that moment where the dude's arm was through his chest, Tanjiro just starts to have cry and kind of have that moment. But then in his dying breath, Rengoku's just like, I'm taking you down with me, bro. I'm not gonna. He gives a good old sword to the neck, trying to cut his neck off. The dude's trying to get his arm out, and Rengoku's like, "You're not escaping me." Grabs one hand, grabs his other hand, whatever, and just clenching onto it. And
the upper three tries to go and attack him, because during this also it's about to be dawn, and for anyone who happens to not know, if the demons are hit by the sun, they're like vampires and evaporate. So during this whole thing, the sun's also coming up, so he's got a sword halfway through his neck, an arm stuck in Rengoku, and now he tries to punch Rengoku, and Rengoku catches that, and it's now holding that arm as well. And
so the entire time he's just panicking, like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta bounce. I gotta go. I gotta kill this guy and go. And that at that moment is whenever Tanjiro was trying to get up just to go help and cut the head off, as well as Inosuke. And the upper three just ripped his own limbs off.
Yeah, Tanjiro finally gets the fortitude to be able to get up, runs and grabs a sword, and he starts running back and yells at Inosuke, move for Rengoku, and just sword jolts him. He's like, yes. And they both charge him, and right as they're going to tag, upper three just rips his own arms off.
Right. And just starts bouncing through the woods trying to escape. A cool little shot of Tanjiro popping up with his it's that same flame breathing is what he used, and just chunks his sword,
which is really important, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spoiler cast. In my opinion, if you want to say why it's important, go for it.
I mean, but it has to do with season 2 stuff. So I don't know.
Still a spoiler cast.
Still a spoiler cast.
Okay, yeah. It's important that Tanjiro throws his sword and pierces him, because then basically Tanjiro loses his sword. And after all this, Tanjiro is gifted with it's not the hilt, it's the guard off Rengoku's sword.
Yep.
To go on his new sword, which is pretty important.
Yeah, it's just a nice little touch for his new sword that he'll end up getting. Once the demon makes his escape, with Tanjiro's sword is like straight through his chest, perfect shot. Tanjiro goes on a whole tangent that, calling him a coward, that Demon Slayers always fight on their terms, on their turf during the night, that he's a coward. Rengoku actually won, you lost, whatever, is going through this emotional tangent, because Rengoku's over there basically about to die, bleeding out horribly.
With a giant hole in his chest.
Yeah, I think at this point he still has the arm in his chest.
The arm is still inside of him.
Yeah. And then, Rengoku is just like, will you stop yelling already? Like, just please stop.
Yeah.
Then tells him over, like, come on, let's talk one last time. And at this moment, this is where like the anime only viewers are like, no, this can't be true. Please, no. I think this is when reality really started to set in, where they're just like, no, why?
Yeah, because he sits there, they start talking, the sun finally comes up, the arm disintegrates and just opens up that wound, and it has a shot where it just shows blood starting now really flowing out.
Yeah, you see it on the ground, just blood just going everywhere from it, just coming out. His final words, the first tidbit was he was talking about Tanjiro's original question to him, which is involving like that special like breathing.
His father's dance.
Yeah, let me look it up.
Yeah, that was the initial part of the conversation where, while Rengoku has no idea what it is, he did mention that his father, who also was the flame pillar before him, has like some special notes or something that he would always look at quite often. But Rengoku said he never saw it. He never saw it. He doesn't know what it is. So Rengoku's like, hey, just go try talking to him. He, whatever that is, it may be what your father had to deal with that dance. Yeah. And then
Hinokami Kagura is what it is.
That. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for the lookup, for the fact.
You're welcome.
And then Rengoku basically just, kind of giving his final words to Tanjiro, telling Tanjiro, hey, when you go to the Rengoku household, tell my brother this. I'd appreciate that. And then just started, giving Rengoku just giving Tanjiro, basically his pep talk. That, hey, just keep training. You can be stronger. I believe that you can be a pillar. Blah blah.
Yeah, well, not just Tanjiro, but like Inosuke and Zentu as well, and that like he accepts his sister as a official member of the Demon Slayer Corps, because anything that's going to kill demons to save people is okay in his book. I'm like, yeah, it's just like a really emotional moment. All this is going down.
Yeah, and then, right as, Rengoku, finishes kind of everything where he's just saying, hey, I believe in you. You got this. He has his final moment where he sees his mother off behind him. Because, keep in mind, throughout his dream sequences, it was really based on, like, being at home. You got to see his dad when he told his father that he became the Flame Pillar. His dad didn't give a shit. You get to see an interaction between him and his brother. There was another moment later on where you get to see Kid Rengoku, interact with his mother as well, where she's just like, hey, do you know why you're strong? He's like, I don't know. She's like, well, it's to protect people that are weak, So he has that final moment where he sees his mother, and she basically says how proud she is of him, whatever. And then he, smiles and then passes away. Emotional moment with our three main characters. And, even though it's like this really emotional moment that I know a lot of people cried at, I love that, I love the comedic aspect of things with Inosuke, where he's very, obviously by the tone of his voice and everything, very upset, crying, whatever. He's yelling at Tanjiro. Yeah. He's like, he said he believed in you, so you can do this. Blah blah blah. It's like, stop crying, stop whining. And meanwhile he's crying as well. And he grabs. He's like, we're gonna go train right now.
It's time to go train.
He's like running around like flailing his sword.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That was a nice little moment. And when he dies, whatever, you see, that crow in the background.
Yeah.
Which as the crow starts to fly away, you see the crow even shed a tear. And then that crow just started passing the news on to the rest of the pillars. Yeah. Which for all of them, my favorite little kind of nice attention to detail tidbit, as out of like all of them, they all kind of had something to say. It was usually very brief, but I like how I personally felt like it gave a little extra focus to our sound guy, since he's going to be obviously a main focus in season 2, where he made the comment, it's like, oh, so even Rengoku couldn't defeat an upper ranked demon. Very minor, but I personally viewed that as a little attention to detail, since he is the main focus of the pillars going into season 2. But other than that, you get the reactions of everyone, some very just kind of minimal. You have the Wind guy that just basically said, I'm going to kill all the demons, whatever, didn't really have anything to say towards Rengoku. Obviously our Stone dude, he cries at that's just kind of his thing, is that he prays.
Yeah.
He's very in touch with his emotions.
Well, his backstory, man, kind of makes you know why he cries.
Yeah, no, completely agree.
Yeah.
But that I would say that's the majority of the plot. Is there anything that you guys kind of want to elaborate on when it comes to things? Because I know Zach, me and you were talking about a couple things last night.
Yeah, one thing that I really like, which was a nod and made me sort of question something, was after it goes through all the pillars, it finally shows the master of the Demon Slayers. And at the opening of the movie, we see a shot of him with his assistant, advisor lady. I don't remember what she is to him.
I think maybe she's his wife, because I know they've got like 4 or 5 kids.
Okay. Again, it's been forever since I read it, so I don't remember. But initially shot at the beginning of the movie of them walking through a graveyard and him paying respects to all the Demon Slayers who have died while he's been in charge and everything. And then at the end of the film, it's him still there. Still, I assume in the same general area, because it's still very similar setting. And more or less him hearing about it and being like, having a moment where he says a line, well, soon we'll be joining Rengoku then too. And it said that line, and it dawned on me, I was just like, was that sort of always a foreshadowing of all the shit that was going to happen to the pillars going forward? Like, was it very much planned at that point that a lot of pillars were not going to see the end of this?
Yeah, it was also nice too that he gave that kind of shout out to Rengoku, and he's like, and not a single person of the 200 passengers, not a single one died.
Yeah. I like that shout out a lot, where he basically said, Rengoku did wonderfully on his mission because not a single person died. I like that. That was a nice little shout out to to really polish up here with Rengoku's arc. No, what you said for the foreshadowing thing, that's a good elaboration on that, because it really does kind of put things in perspective for what's going to come. Overall, though, fantastic movie. Enjoyed the ride beginning to end. We've already, on our bonus cast, we already talked about just how the score was great. Loved the score. Just how they did the sound effects, fantastic. Pacing was overall really good. And it just, when it came to the main, the finale of the movie with Rengoku's death, I feel like it really did the death well. It really delivered it home, where even though we knew it was coming, we just got emotional about it all over again, kind of thing. It really hit home. They just did a wonderful job on it.
It was also a really good moment, just because this whole film, especially with the whole Rengoku part, it really sets the tone for the rest of the series.
Yep.
Involving the upper demons and the pillars.
Yep. Could not agree more with that.
Most definitely. I don't see, we didn't stay for the whole thing, so I don't know if there's any kind of after credit scene, but I was looking through kind of the chapters, just getting a refresher on how the manga did it, and there was an additional drawing at the end of the whole arc, which is the crow telling Rengoku's dad, and his dad just on the ground sobbing. And I felt like if they had added that into the movie, that would have been man, that would have done it. That would have been a good end.
Yeah, as far as I know, there was no after credits. I haven't necessarily looked it up, but man, it'd be something if that was it and we missed it.
Yeah.
That'd be really upsetting. But overall, for anyone that has not seen the movie, I really hope you get a chance to see it sometime soon. And I understand if people don't want to go see it in theaters, but man, it is an awesome theater experience. It really is. I totally get why people don't want to go to theaters due to the COVID situation and everything. There are a lot of a lot of hot spots across the United States. We get that. It should be available for streaming June 22nd, I believe, on Funimation, so you can see it then. But I think that's going to do it for our Spoilercast, unless you guys have anything else you want to throw in. I personally feel like I got everything that I want to talk about. Josh, thank you for bringing up the not a single passenger died, because that was one that I thought of 10 minutes ago. I was like, I need to finish off that because it's a really good one, but I totally forgot until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
No big deal. Yeah, if there's anything I could throw out there, it'd just be this. Like Alex said, if you don't want to go see it in theaters because of COVID, that's totally understandable. It will be streaming soon. If you are a big Demon Slayer fan or looking forward to season 2, you pretty much have to watch this movie, because season 2, episode 1 is it's jumping straight into the aftermath. Because the manga doesn't pull any punches. It just goes from, that to, the next thing. So,
isn't the next thing Tanjiro's sword?
The next thing actually is Tanjiro going to Rengoku's family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that should be the episode 1 of season 2. That's the very next thing that happens.
Gotcha.
Is he goes and gives Rengoku's family his last words, basically.
Yeah. So, and that's also a very, very good point that Josh brought up, is that if you're looking forward to season 2, you're gonna have to see this movie at some point, or go watch someone's quick breakdown of it on YouTube or something. You're gonna have to know something about this arc before you watch season 2. I don't know when season 2 is set to come out. Is it this fall or next year? I don't remember.
I believe it's this fall.
This fall? Okay. You'll need to see the movie, so make sure to do that at some point. Whether if it's going to see it in theaters, streaming, or picking it up on Blu-ray when it comes out, make sure you watch the movie, and you will very much enjoy it. It's a great ride.
Because the next 2 things would be Rengoku's family and Tanjiro's sword, which very important.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here for us. So for bonus cast and spoiler cast content and stuff, we do stuff on our own that we want to do. But if there's anything that you want us to cover, a way to get us to do that kind of stuff is going over to patreon.com/Sparky3. If you want to support us there, we greatly appreciate it. There you can submit like topic requests, series for us to read and review in an episode that is strictly for like the Patreon stuff. And that's where that's all going to be at. We'd greatly appreciate it. For any new viewers here on the YouTube space that we are now on for the video podcast, and we greatly appreciate it if you watched it all the way to the end of this. Make sure to drop a like or a dislike if you didn't care for this, either or. Comment down below your thoughts on the movie, and just how you felt and experienced throughout this whole thing. Also, let us know if this was your first time going into this blind, and just how everything played out for you. And obviously, give us a subscribe. We'd appreciate that. The closer we get to 100 subscribers, then we can actually have a URL where I can just say, hey, go to youtube.com/Sparky3 instead of just saying, hey, just go search it or go to the link, one of the two. So you guys have anything you want to say to finish things up here for the show?
As you said, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you actually do like us and want to see more, so it actually pops up in your feed.
True.
For all our audio people, what I say any of our podcasts, rate, comment, anything your platform allows, it does help and gets us out there. Thank you.
Josh, got anything?
Yeah, just follow us on Twitter at AniMan Plus or at AniMan Podcast. We try to post every day. We do a lot of polls. We're big poll people.
Love a good poll. Love a good poll. Put up weekly polls, chapter polls, other kind of polls. We love polls.
Yeah. other random things. Give us a shout out there. Good way to get in touch with us if you want us to cover something. Maybe you can't afford Patron.
That's true.
Patreon.
That's true.
Patron.
Nobody can afford Patron.
That's true. All right, guys.
Sure.
We already missed our beat drop, so have a good one. See ya.
Bye.
Later.